welcome back to VW Farm, Micro Farm, Big Dreams. We have the Apron Chain for the Manure Spreader Part 2, and what I'm doing is I'm using Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer because it's fairly rusty, and painting it up so the manure won't be as corrosive on it. Yes, as it's used, the paint's going to chip and flake, but for now it should work just fine. So let's get started. So we have our gloves on, and here's the rusty primer Rust-Oleum. I used this stuff with really good success before on multiple projects, so we're just going to use it for the apron chain. We're just going to basically lather up the rails, and this should just help prevent the manure from doing too much damage. Just going to load up our brush and just lather it up on the rails, get the leaves out of the way. We're also going to get these chain pieces here, and what I've been doing is just getting the outsides, and then for in between I just take the brush, spin it around inside, and that should coat it pretty well. If not, you know, it's just a manure spreader. It's not the Mona Lisa. Now on the can it says it dries to an ultimate finish. There it is, dry, and there's a piece of metal I haven't painted yet. So it does do a pretty good job. I mean, I really can't complain with how good it is. This is just my personal preference. I'm not sponsored by Rust-Oleum, but everybody has their opinions. That just happens to be mine. So I was installing the apron chain, and the front part has this adjustment, and the adjustment is all rusted. So I'm gonna have to cut it off and weld up some new all thread. Let's do that. Well, now that that's done, let's weld a new bracket. Well, one done, now it's time to get the other one. Well, that's done. Let's let them cool off and put them back on. Well, we got our hardware here, and let's put it together. Looks good. Let's do the other side. Let's see if we can get that apron chain up here now. Well, it's a project without a little bit of controversy. Show you what I'm talking about here. The apron chain's a little bound up on that side, and I'm a little shy on apron chain, so I'm gonna have to get some. So we'll have to come back and film tomorrow. Apron chain's on order, so we're gonna have to wait for that. So while we're waiting for that, this is what they call a pawl. I've also heard it called a dog. The only thing I haven't heard it called is late for dinner. Haha. This pawl is what goes inside this wheel hub, and that's what drives the apron chain star and the beater chain sprocket. And I will show you what's inside this hub in just a second. Wheel jacked up, pulled the pin already, pull the washer off, remove the tire and the hub. So here's the hub. This pawl or dog sits right here in there. Just needs a little cleaned up. So it sits in there, and there's a spring that goes between this point and there, so it'll have tension going clockwise. What this does is there's two of them that sit in here on either side, is this rides along the tire, gets caught, and I'll show you the inside of the tire, gets caught inside the tire, and when it's going clockwise, it'll in turn turn this axle. So when one wheel turns faster, or like you're making a corner and one wheel is going slower or sometimes backwards depending on a sharp corner, if it's going backwards, this will back off and allow the wheel to slip so it doesn't break any parts. But when you're going forwards, both sides will catch and you'll have essentially two-wheel drive. Now inside the hub you have this cog, or essentially a cog, and this sits right inside there just like that. So as the wheel turns forward, it'll catch this pawl and then turn the axle. When it goes backward, it's going to allow that pawl to just skip inside these teeth. Obviously the pawl won't be moving, but the tire would, and it'll skip inside the teeth, allowing it not to catch the axle and break parts. Okay, we got the tire back on. Now when I turn this wheel forward, it spins that axle, and if the wheel goes backwards, that clicking you hear are those pawls skipping along inside there. So let's do the other side. When I turn this wheel, you'll hear the other side clicking. That's because the other wheel is stationary and this one's spinning. Same concept if you're turning a corner and this is going backwards, etc. Alright, we got the wheels on. Let's get the beater chain wrapped up. It's cold today. So, I've been soaking the beater chain in Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath. I bought this at Home Depot and it did pretty well. It comes out looking just like water, and I'll show you what it looks like. This is what the fluid looks like after I've let it soak. You can see it's really oily looking. And when I poured it in there, it came out actually looking just like clear water. So I've been letting this soak for a couple weeks now, and I mean at day 3 it looked like this, but I've just been figuring I'd let it soak and just kept flipping it until I was ready for it. So let's get started. It did an okay job. I'm sure if I went with it, at it with another soak, with the same solution, just newer stuff, it would probably do a better job. But I was just looking to try to get some of the links freed up. I tried soaking it in multiple different solutions and nothing seemed to work until this, so let's go from there. Alright, let's see if it works. Well, that worked. I am incredibly happy. Now we just gotta wait for the apron chain links and should be all set. Just like that, it's December. We're gonna take a break from the manure spreader. We have the apron chain installed. I got new links, those black links there, the brand new ones, and we have those installed as well. But what's happening is the chain is slipping on idlers, and a lot of the crossbars were bent, so I'm unbending those, and it's just getting late in the year to keep messing with it. The snow's on its way, so we're gonna take a break on the spreader. But good news is we have a lot more projects coming. So subscribe to this channel, share this channel, and please stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.